fight fans. This is Kurt Deville with Counterpunch Boxing News. And I tell you, it's cold. It is cold. Cold as Hades, right? It is cold as Hades. In fact, so cold that I got my leather on. And you know it's cold when I gotta flex the leather. But anyway, headed to church. Just wanted to reach out to you guys for a minute to wish you guys a happy Sunday. You know, see how everybody's doing. You know, it's crazy how I thought this ride was a lot longer, but nonetheless, how is everybody doing when you guys come in on this Sunday? It's cold, man. It's 41 degrees. And in Texas, that is cold. Now, I know other places in the world, you're like, Kurt, that ain't nothing. But here it's something. So when you guys come in, rep where you're from, man. Give me a shout out to where you're from. I'll give you a shout out back. You know how we do. It's Town City Country. Town City Country. Give me a shout out where you're from so I can shout out back on this platform. You know something I haven't done in a while? I haven't done an Instagram live. I haven't done an Instagram live since I got kicked off of YouTube for a minute. You know, they tried to shut me down. So I went to Instagram and definitely came alive over there, which it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad at all. But I'm excited about a lot of stuff, man. You know it's fight week, right? I'm supposed to go live after I leave church. So we'll see. We'll see what happens, you know, church functions and stuff like that. See how far or long it lasts. But yeah, man, I feel like Akeem from Coming to America. I am very happy to be here. But yeah, it's still weird though, because it's hot inside. Now we can turn it off. Because now I'm starting to sweat. But outside, it's 39. It dropped 2 degrees since I've been talking to you. Okay, we got the first on the chat. Sugar Throw Hana 5789. Hi, Scott Hall. Is your username Hector? Hey, bro, what's up? What's going on? Counterpunch to you. Prod by Chill Phantom in the building. What a beautiful LG TV, man. Man, get out of here with that. You ever had your... What the... Yeah. I already got to do it, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. Boom. No, everything's good. Everything's good, man. Let's talk about some boxing topics. AJ versus Jake Paul. Yes, that's a thing. That is a big thing. Say vinegar 10 times super fast. I don't think I will. It says, can I ask you a question? You know, that's always been one of my pet peeves, because when people ask, man, can I ask you a question? Instead of asking a question, it's normally something either super personal or annoying. Wilder versus Usyk. Usyk is the man. But then karma's a bitch, though. You know, it's crazy about a fight like that, because Wilder's one of them cats that you don't know what condition he's in, because He hasn't fought in so long. This man only fought Herndon, Tyrell Herndon. Before that, he was supposed to fight Curtis Harper. If you guys can remember that, he was supposed to fight Curtis Harper. You know, Curtis Harper, if you guys don't know Curtis Harper, he's a boxer. He's probably in the top 50, right? He might be in the top 25. Curtis Harper is the guy that has been famously known to walk out of the ring as soon as the bell rung when he was supposed to fight Efe Ajagba. If you guys can remember that, Efe Ajagba was a guy that signed on to fight Curtis Harper. The bell went ding ding. He walked out the ring. Bars. You can't make it up. So the guy just walked out. And he explained why after that. But the way it looked, it was almost like he seen him, sized him up, and was like, nah, I think I'm going to bail on this fight and I'm going home. That's what it looked like. But it was more to it than that, though. He's 266. Oh, never mind. Because I mean, yeah, he's 266. My thing is, where do they get all these fighters from? You know, I guess there's a lot of bar fights, a lot of untelevised fights that we haven't seen. They have that many fighters because they got to be fighting, unless they're just inactive. Right? Where is around you? Salute Counterpunch. G Damage. What's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. Asking a question about asking a question should be a federal crime. For some people, can I ask you a question? I hate that, bro. That's one of my pet peeves. It's almost, can I punch you in the face? Can I hit you in the mouth? Can I hit you in the mouth? Before I actually hit you in the mouth. Because you know it's going to be something like jacked up. Because obviously if it was a normal question, people would just ask the normal question, right? Greetings to all in the chat and to Kurt. Keep the channel greatness, man. Great channel. See huge. Number one, what's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. You know what? This actually is a long ride. This is a long ride. But yeah, it's cold, man. This is a good sign, though. If it's cold in December, that means we're going to have a decent winter. Because January is the coldest in the South. January is the coldest month that we have. And that's Louisiana. It's probably except for Georgia, because Georgia has like mountains and such. They have valleys here, but, you know, ravines, but they don't have mountains. So it's a different climate there. He says, you need a hug. No, not today. Maybe a few days ago. What about the UFC, man? I don't watch the UFC like I used to, because I'm a classic UFC guy. Bryce Productions, hi. Counterpunch to you. I'm an old school cat, man. I like, you know, Machida and, you know, Silva and, you know, guys like that. Remember when Conor McGregor used to actually be skinny before he started bowing up and looking all freakishly, you know, big? He says, go back to Africa. Bitch, I'm not from Africa. I'm from the Caribbean. Yeah. Yeah, here we go. Hoist Gracie. Yep, the Gracies. Just hopped on, Kurt. Counterpunch to you. Aaron Edson is at 88. Dillian White against Deontay Wilder. Nah, you know what though? Deontay Wilder, I don't think I don't think this world we will have a time where Deontay Wilder and Dillian White will ever fight. Unless Deontay, because I don't see, because no. Dillian White, the way he got blasted out by Moses Atoma, I don't see that. He's just, him and Derek Chisora replaced. They replaced spots in the heavyweight division. Because Dillian White was that guy that was, he got messed around with the WBC for a long time. I really feel bad for Dillian White, because Dillian White actually could have been, if he would have fought guys, which he did get the opportunity. He fought Tyson Fury, and give Tyson credit, because I don't know what type of Dillian White we had then. All I know is that the Dillian White in 2022, Tyson Fury mopped up quick. He was faster than him, sharper than him. He was just better all around. Let's talk about the last fight. Pacheco nearly made it through. No, man, I didn't watch that fight. I didn't watch Pacheco. That I did not watch. Kurt, is your dream car? If not, what is it? What is my dream car? Man, you know what? That's a good question. My dream car, and it changed. My dream car changed. When I was 16 years old, I always wanted a Toyota Camry. I remember my cousin had one. He had a 96 Toyota Camry, which was the year that I was 16. Right, so all the years that I became, an adult, like 15, it was 95, 16, it was 96, 7. You know what I mean? So born in the late 70s. So, or the last year in the 70s. So it was first Camry. So Camry was my dream car. I wanted a black Camry with the gold package, because the gold Camry package in the back. And the crazy thing was, man, like that went from a Toyota Camry until I got old. I loved Camaros. Camaros were good. We weren't poor growing up, but my parents were frugal, so they didn't have shit like that. But I had an older brother, which he got any car he wanted. He got a Mitsubishi Galant. He got a 5.0 Mustang, and these were badass cars back in the day. He got an Eclipse, a Mitsubishi Eclipse, a Galant. He got a Ford 5.0 Mustang. It wasn't a 5.0. It was a Mustang. It wasn't the 97 Mustang, though. It wasn't the cool looking one. But like, he got a lot of those cars. I had an Oldsmobile. My first car was a Ford Tempo. A total turd for a car. It was a turd. The car was a turd, people. If a Ford Tempo was a turd. Um, what else? Then it became a Camry, Toyota Camry, and then till they got ugly, but I still wanted one. I always liked the Maxima until I owned one. I got a Cadillac in like 2004, which I've had which I still have a Cadillac, but the first one my mom bought me, and I looked like a big preacher with a long Cadillac. It's one of them pimp or preacher Cadillacs, so I had one of them, and it was white, which was nice because I mean I took really good care of the car, man. I mean I like every week I washed it every week. I got tune-ups on the car. Back then, this was like 2004. So then I had the XM radio installed from Best Buy. So it was nice, man. It was cool. So people haven't saw that. I had the little remote, boop, boop, Um, Dream car then became SS Super Sport, from '96. The Impala. So the Impala SS Super Sport was one of my dream cars. Then it became you drove a '90s turd. Yeah, I did. I did. Now it's an M5. It's an M5 2000 BMW. That's my dream car. And like I may buy one from this guy until but I have an E39 like it. So I'm not really sure if I may buy it, but that's my dream car right now. So I guess I'm just one of those, not Danny LaRusso, but what's his name? Uh, Damn, what's old boy's name from Cobra Kai? Like the first antagonist, was it Joey Lawrence? I guess I'm a Joey Lawrence. The '77 Cadillac Coupe de Ville was a gas guzzler, but it was a great car. Yeah, it was Johnny Lawrence. There you go, Joey Lawrence. That's an actor, ain't he? Whoa. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. I'll say Johnny. Lawrence. So I guess I'm a Johnny Lawrence. Yeah, because I mean, like if I was gonna buy a car, because in 2014, um, the girl I was dating at the time was like, "What the hell you buy that old ass car for?" Because I bought a '96 Maxim because I always wanted one. But let me tell you guys something. That was one of the best cars I ever had. I've bought newer cars. I'm in a newer car now, but the thing is, certain cars were made that just stood the test of time because you still see them. You don't see Ford Tempos driving around because they're garbage. M5 engine sounds awesome. They do, bro. They do. Like that car was like the sports car of sedans. And I'm one of those guys, I'll just watch videos about people, you know, uh, really hooking them up, making them look great, you know what I mean? Customizing them and stuff like that. I like stuff like that. I'm old school, man. You know what I mean? 45, well, no, I'm 46 now. So like my mindset is when I was young, right? You look cool laid from Papua New Guinea. You look cool, man. Appreciate you, man. Um, yeah, BMWs are, I mean, the first BMW I bought, which I still have, um, it was a 2001. And some guy, I'm gonna tell you, the internet, the people on internet, bro, they are unforgiving. This dude, when I read it, because I was like, somebody was like, dude, what kind of car you got? I was like, oh, I got a BMW. And it was a dude that came on and he was like, he's like, that car old as fuck. And I was like, what? Yeah. And then I bought another one. I bought a 525i. So I bought a 530i and a 525i, and the 525 was beautiful because that was actually the first BMW I wanted. So at that time, because I was going to buy it, I was going to buy a BMW for $2,000. The cunt of a cousin that I had that I asked to borrow the money, she wouldn't let me do it. She's a cunt. So um so I didn't get it, but I ended up buying one maybe 5, 6 years later. No, I really, you know what? I guess, I mean, I've bought cars. And I bought a few cars for my kid, and she destroyed them. Cannonball Lambo sounds awesome. But yeah, BMWs are reliable though. Because I bought the car when I bought the 530 in 2019. So I bought the car from Texas, and I was working on Fear the Walking Dead at the time. Fear the Walking Dead was in Austin, not too far from here. So I drove back and forth from Shreveport to Austin all the time. Is this vodka? No, dude, this is Starbucks coffee. Damn, vodka, this much vodka? Dude, that's somebody trying to go to the hospital. So no, that's my dream list of cars. I mean, I like those you know what? I'm becoming a real big fan of Audis lately. So that's pretty cool. I always liked Italian sports cars, but people say the maintenance is a headache. Porsches are more reliable. Well, what's the name of the car that is it an Alfa? Is it called what, an Alfa? Something like that? Yeah, Alfa Romeo. I've seen a couple of those. There you go. I know somebody would say it before I looked it up, but yeah. No, man, I think they're boss cars. So my next car will probably be an Audi or one of those. They break down a lot. I became real good friends with the BMW guy here. Because they had down here, we have Lindsay BMW, which is the authorized BMW guys, when you come and fix your stuff. And he said the same thing about those Alfa Romeos. They break down a lot. Actually, he said that about Audis too. So, but bro, either way, that 2001 BMW, I spent at least 11 grand. No cap. At least 11 grand in about 4 years. At least $11,000 on it. And that's just maintenance on the car, because the parts that I replaced were parts that never been replaced. So it wasn't necessarily I was necessarily taking an L. I just had an old ass car. Like the guy said, you got your car old as fuck. Yeah, dude. So yeah. They break down a lot. Expensive as hell. Lexus 5.0. I got a cousin that has one like that. And he's I haven't seen him drive it yet. I think every car is a waste of money, but we gotta have them. Really, it depends on where you're at. Like New York, you don't need a car in New York. You don't really need a car in places like Santo Domingo. I mean, I'm gonna get an electric bike, bro, because I'm buying a house in Santo Domingo or an apartment, and I will not buy a car. Because if you get a decent e-bike, I mean a decent one, the one that lasts you about 80 miles. You know, if you can get one that lasts you about 80 miles and it goes at least 35 or 40 miles an hour, that's what I'm gonna have. I'm not gonna have, buy a car in another country. No, no, because I got to do something with the damn cars. I got 3 cars now. So it is what it is. Dayton, Ohio, we always gone. Love boy, box Chevy Caprices or Impalas. Yeah, sounds like Shreveport. Everyone in the UK electric bikes now cheap. Yep. But I want a boss one. I want one that you can charge as you pedal. That'll be dope. But then they're like a couple grand. So, but that's gonna be my next thing. I'm gonna get a e-bike. I just bought a GoPro. You know what I mean? And now my youngest daughter has it, so she's like, you know, Kurt, which car brand attracts women to a guy? They say red is a very attractive color. It depends. Newer cars are mostly cars that attract women. Then it depends on what type of woman you're trying to attract. See, if it's the newer the car, the younger the girl. Right? So if you're dealing with somebody that's younger, 25, 23, and let's say you're in Miami, Florida, well, you'd want something newer. But Miami's kind of different because people rent cars. They're like Vegas. People rent cars there and just drive around, and they're fronting like it's theirs, and it's not. Exotics. You know, Ferrari attracts women. I believe that. They get in a Ferrari, they don't know how to act. You know. So yeah, I think. But they say red is attractive. No, they say red makes you speed. That's what they say. They say red makes you speed. Salute, Kurt. Did you watch the? No, I didn't, man. What's your assessment? I didn't see it. I wasn't online yesterday. I did some videos. That's pretty much it, man. I've been kind of recouping, just drinking water. A lot of people thought they were Magnum PIs in those Ferraris. Magnum PI, man, that was a real popular show back in the day. That and Miami Vice, because I was a kid watching that shit. Six days till we see Jake get his face caved in. Yep. 6 days. 6 days. As the adult was live last night for the Sergio Pacheco fight. I think he's always that way, to be fair. Miami Vice music usually told me that the nightly news was coming on. Well, you don't have shows like that no more. Do you think AJ will be soft on Jake? I hope he don't, because Jake gonna be soft on him. Jake's gonna try to knock AJ out, and you know, and we get to check that chin, because there's a such thing as like residual damage. And caught AJ with shots that he didn't think he was going to get hit with. So AJ, not only is people, think he's chinny, he just don't have the best chin, being, that big of a dude, being that big of a puncher, on top of getting hit with shots that he didn't know he was going to get hit with. Because he didn't know he was going to get hit, he got caught with these shots, and that did more damage. Insult to injury. Yeah, man. I think AJ will be coming out against Jake Paul like he did in Ghana. Just size him up, line him up. And when Jake tries to come in with that double jab, catch him with the straight right hand. You know what I mean? Keep him back with the jab. Pretty much Klitschko him until you line him up. Don't do that all night, because if you got to do that all night, what's the point? You know what I'm saying? But no, AJ, that's simple. AJ 6'6". He got a 78-inch reach. Jake Paul's 6 foot tall, maybe. Got a head like a damn 10-pound ham, so you can't miss it. And yeah, I mean, that should be an easy fight. That should be an easy fight for AJ. Because Jake has to come in, not the other way around. And like at this point, if Joshua is foolish enough to try to come on the inside being 6'6", that's all that, and he gets caught, that's on him. Because he should have learned from the Andy Ruiz fight that, you don't fight a midget on your knees. You don't fight a midget on your knees. AJ 6'7". Well, he's tall. 6'6", 6'7". That means that motherfucker's tall. That's what that means. He's tall. Badu Jack lost his title last night. That's fucking great. So there's no more fight about that. But it sucks because Badu Jack's been fighting a long time. Badu Jack, he was a decent fighter, but he's probably just past his prime. And here's the thing, he probably wasn't that good anyway. Yeah, Jake Paul has a big old head, and his head movement is negotiable at best. Now, I mean, he's faster on his feet than probably AJ is, because AJ's a big, tall guy, and AJ's kind of awkward in a sense. If you look at how AJ walks, he plods as he walks. So he's not I don't think he's the best. He's not like Usyk. You know what I mean? Like guys that know how to move. And even Tyson Fury can move a lot better than AJ. But what hurts AJ is AJ got all this muscle that he don't need no way. You ask AJ how do you get chicks, he'll tell you to go to the gym. That's AJ. Tyson Fury is 6'9", I believe. If not, I'm wrong or mistaken. Badu Jack is the classic case of going about things the right way, but still some things not going the best opportunities, but he's had a good run, given the circumstances. Yeah. Regardless, Jake makes people rich. Francis is a fool to turn down that fight, not a smart businessman. Well, yeah, but then again, at this point, he's fought Tyson Fury. He came from the UFC. Okay, he didn't come from YouTube. He's not a YouTuber. He's not a what do they call him? Influencer. He's none of that, right? He is a fighter that came from nothing to something. And he never made the money like he made against Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua. And because of that, he doesn't need money no more. But also, Francis Ngannou, when you give someone that's accustomed to nothing, something, and in fact, that something is more than they ever had, and you give someone that's like giving me $5 million, because I've never had $5 million at one time. So you give me $5 million. It's easy for me never having $5 million to turn down 20 million because I never had five. So I think Francis looked at Jake Paul as a joke. You know what I mean? On top of the personal stuff that Francis Ngannou went through. This dude went through a lot of bad things in his life, man. He lost his child, which I can't relate to that at all. Then he killed a young lady in a traffic accident. So I don't think that it may be more than just that. It may be, personal. Yeah, give me 15 million, man. I wouldn't care because with 15 million dollars, I'm gonna set up. You give me 15 million dollars, I'll never have to work again because I know how to use 15 million because I'll use 5 to make 10 more. I just won't go hoo and spend money like Floyd, Money Mayweather. No, that's just stupid. I mean 15 million untaxed. I don't mean 15 million and I take home 7 or 8. No, that's not 15 million. That's 7.5 million. That's after you got raped by the U.S. government. Kurt for 15 million is stopping Stephen A. Smith, Skip Bayless in one night. Knock them out quick. One round Stephen A., another round Skip Bayless. Give me half a round with Skip Bayless. Hell, give me half a round with Stephen A. Smith. Did you guys see the way this dude was throwing punches? And you talk all that shit and never threw a punch in your life, it looked like. This dude was working the mitts. Did you see him attempt to work the mitts? Stephen A. Smith looked like do. Everyone knows Ngannou whooped Fury. I think he beat Fury. I'm not gonna lie. I think he whooped Fury. I think Fury got away with that because he was the champ and he was the boxing representative. But yeah, man, I got to get off of here. But I'm going to go live again later, so hopefully people are on. So the 19 people that they say are on here, I appreciate everybody that came on. Until then, everyone has been Counterpunched, but we will reconvene with Jake Paul, AJ, and Stephen A. and Skip Bay. Bars.